It's 93.5 The FBY, and it's Spike Nesbitt here, and if you tuned in to hear the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge, I got some bad news for you. I'm about 3.5 miles away from the radio station, and, of course, I'm having car trouble. Not sure what kind of car trouble. I had my oil changed about a week ago, and my inspection sticker's good. I was just driving along, minding my own business, the engine light comes on, and the next thing I know, I'm stuck in the cold at the side of the road, and I don't mind telling you, I'm not really all that sure what to do. I know you came here for the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge, and if I had my scripts with me, I could just give you the questions over the phone, but it's all locked up at the station at my desk. I'm assuming all the invited guests who are there for the FBI Festive Trivia Challenge tonight are either there already or on their way, so look, we're going to have to play this by ear. Stick with 93.5 The FBY for updates through the hour, and if we can get some of the trivia going, maybe some of the party can look up some trivia on their phones or something. I don't know, heck, maybe they could just get stuck into the complimentary booze and forget it ever happened. Now, that doesn't help me very much here by the side of the road, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Spending the holiday party trapped with my broken down car on the shoulder, 3.5 miles from where I'm supposed to be, I'm Spike Nesbitt, the Doctor of Rock, on 93.5 The FBY. Okay, are we ready at the station? I'm ready to go. I'm not hearing anything from you guys, so I'm just going to start and hope that you back at the station are ready for me to go. So here we go. Announcement number 2 in 3, 2, 1. Good evening to you. It's Spike Nesbitt here in some very odd circumstances. I know you're tuning in to hear the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge as advertised, but owing to circumstances way beyond my control, I find myself 3.5 miles away from the radio station outside of a broken down car with an engine light that's not only illuminated, the bloody thing is flashing now, and I can't think that that's any way a good thing. I'm expecting the car's going to explode next time I get back in and turn the heat on, for goodness sake. So, dearest listener, I have to admit that I'm kind of at a loss when it comes to what we're going to do next. We're already well into the first hour of where the trivia was supposed to be, and the questions are all locked up at my desk back at the station. So, I don't know if there's any taxis running that could take me to the station. There's no apparent Uber coverage where I am. I mean, there's hardly any cell phone coverage where I am. I'm lucky I'm able to connect to you right now. So I hear that some of the party guests and the trivia teams are already at the FBY having a good old time and waiting to be crowned King Quiz. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to let you back to the music for a little bit whilst I noodle the problem, and we'll see if there's a way out of the situation. And if I can get back to the station, maybe we can do the trivia later than advertised. And that's all I can think of right now, I'm afraid. So, there you go, stuck somewhere on the interstate. I'm Spike Nesbitt, the Doctor of Rock, cold, wet, stranded, disappointed, utterly and abjectly annoyed, 3.5 miles from 93.5, the FBY. The problem is I don't have the questions with me. Sorry, I didn't know we were back on there. I'm just talking to a lovely gentleman called Tom who saw my blinkies and he stopped to help. But the problem is, Tom's an accountant. So by his own admission, he doesn't really know anything about cars. So he's very reluctantly getting back into his own car and making his way back to his mother-in-law's house rather than stand out with me in the cold. Now, I get that. I don't blame him. I mean, I suppose it would be like me pulling over to the side of the road and trying to help Tom with math. And look, if I've got shoes on, I can only count to 10. And if I'm wearing mittens, forget it. Sorry about all that beeping, by the way. Someone's trying to text me, but I, ever the professional, I'm going to ignore it whilst I'm talking to you. But this is a highly disappointing situation, folks. We've been talking about the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge for weeks now, and it's no small group that have gathered at the FBY studios for the festive party, including several special guests. I just hope they can find ways to amuse themselves and each other as they ride out this technical, or maybe I should say mechanical, challenge tonight, and we try and figure out what to do. So apologies once more, dearest listeners. Obviously, the plan for tonight was to have a good old laugh, play some festive trivia, hang out with the cream of North Central West Virginia, and instead you get to listen to some fat guy on his phone out in the middle of nowhere complaining that his car won't start. Who keeps texting me? Someone not listening to the radio apparently seems to keep bombarding me with messages whilst I'm talking to you. So I'll let you go for the moment, dearest listener, and we'll speak at least one more time this hour, and we'll try and get the situation sorted out. Live and cold from the side of the road, 3.5 miles from where I should be, on 93.5 The FBY, I am the Doctor of Rock, Spike Nesmith. Are we ready? Are we on? We're on? Are we on right now? Okay, good. I've got some good news, folks. First things first, I'm Spike Nesmith, the Doctor of Rock, and this is 93.5 The FBY. That news is good and good enough, but something truly excellent and miraculous had happened. I'm still standing out here in the freezing cold with a car that won't start, but tonight has a saviour in the shape of a returned jolly man with a beard and an infectious laugh. No, it's not Seth Rogen. Ladies and gentlemen, Santa Claus himself is going to lend me a hand tonight and get me to the ball on time. Well, on time plus an hour, I suppose. You may remember last time we spoke, my phone's text message thing kept buzzing whilst I was trying to talk to you. That was Santa, who was sending me messages to let me know that he very kindly left the party, got in his sleigh, and is currently on his way to pick me up from the side of the road here in I don't know where. I mean, I really don't know where I am. He's going to have to look for my blinky lights at the side of the road here because it's pitch black and I don't know where I am. Now, if it wasn't for the flashlight option on my phone, I couldn't tell you what way I was facing even. But let me tell you something. I could not be happier about this resolution tonight. So trivia is going to start an hour later than advertised, and I apologise about that. But I'm going to be whisked off in style to 93.5 The FBY's palatial studios just in time to get my questions ready, put on my flashing reindeer antlers and my ugly Christmas sweater. Ladies and gentlemen of the FBY Collective, we are having the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge tonight after all. He's here. Santa's made it, and the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge is alive and well right here on 93.5 The FBY. Join me next hour and see how smart you are. Are you smarter than Santa's elves? Are you smarter than Frosty the Snowman's balls? Are you smarter than 5 clones of me? Well, we'll see. The FBY Festive Trivia Challenge coming up next hour. Don't miss it. It's 93.5 The FBY.
We made it! And not before time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, finally, to the 93.5 The FBY Festive Trivia Challenge! Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Check, check, check. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. Oh, I love having all the power in the room. Okay, folks, here are the rules. I will speak to you 4 times this hour, and in each instance, I will give you 5 questions for general knowledge, worth 1 point each, and 1 festive 5, a holiday-themed question worth 5 points. Easy, right? For general, worth 1 point, 1 festive 5, worth 5 points. We have 3 teams, and you playing tonight, dear listener. No prizes, just bragging rights. But what a set of bragging rights, am I right? And you are responsible for keeping your own scores honestly. Right? Right. Okay, everyone being honest about their scores, that's what we're after. Thank you very much. Our teams are as follows. Santa and his trivia elves. Frosty and his know-it-all snowballs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And finally, it's the Spikes.
Where you going? trivia. La, 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 la.
All right, lads, calm down, calm down. For those of you who don't know, let me tell you quickly, I was subject to a cloning experiment many years ago, and there are 5 exact copies of me roaming around the country, and we get together on special occasions, but they will have no advantage over the other teams just because they're clones of me. In fact, I don't especially like them very much, so they're probably going to lose. It's the Spikes, everybody. And you, dearest listener, you can play along at home and see if you're the holiday hero. Can you beat Santa? Can you best Frosty? Can you pummel the Spikes into submission? Play along and see. Let's do it. It's the FBI Festive Trivia Challenge. Okay, round 1, question 1. Which of the following one-name musicians got his stage name from a billboard advertising a hearing aid retailer? Was it A, Sting? Was it B, Prince? Was it C, Bono? Was it D, Moby? Which of the following one-name musicians got his stage name from a billboard advertising a hearing aid retailer? Was it Sting, A, Prince, B, Bono, C, or Moby, D? Here's your second question. Which species contains the most poisonous animal in the world? Is it A, butterfly? Is it B, frog? Is it C, snake? Or is it D, spider? I'll give you those again. Which species contains the most poisonous animal in the world? Is it A, butterfly? Is it B, frog? Is it C, snake? Is it D, spider? Now, your chance to show off. Answer the question without multiple choice. Which author created the Land of Oz? That's your number 3 question tonight. Which author created the Land of Oz? Alright, question number 4. Which US president was the first to choose to fly in a private US Air Force plane instead of flying commercial? Was it A, Truman? Was it B, Kennedy? Was it C, Roosevelt? Or was it D, Eisenhower? Let me give you that question again. This is number 4. Which US president was the first to choose to fly in a private US Air Force plane instead of flying commercial? Was it A, Truman? Was it B, Kennedy? Was it C, Roosevelt? Or was it D, Eisenhower? And now your festive 5. This is worth 5 points. No multiple choice. If you're born on Christmas Day, what is your star sign? If you're born on Christmas Day, what is your star sign? That one's worth 5 points. Think about it. More questions on the way on the Festive Trivia Challenge here at 93.5 The FBY, and we'll give you the answers in the next hour. Stick around because there's more fun to come. The FBY Festive Trivia Challenge. It's time for round 2. Remember, there's 4 rounds and we'll give you the answers next hour. You are responsible for totaling your own scores honestly. So, here is round 2. Ozzy Osbourne became famous in which heavy metal band? And if you're listening to the FBY and you don't know this, hang your head in shame. Ozzy Osbourne became famous in which heavy metal band? Was it A, AC/DC? Was it B, Black Sabbath? Was it C, Iron Maiden? Or was it D, Judas Priest? Ozzy Osbourne became famous in which heavy metal band? Was it A, AC/DC? Was it B, Black Sabbath? Was it C, Iron Maiden? Or was it D, Judas Priest? Number 2 of round 2. Which Oscar-nominated action star is also a seasoned helicopter pilot and real-life hero? Is it A, Tom Cruise? Is it B, Harrison Ford? Is it C, John Travolta? Or is it D, Denzel Washington? Which Oscar-nominated action star is also a seasoned helicopter pilot and real-life hero? A, Tom Cruise. B, Harrison Ford. C, John Travolta. Or D, Denzel Washington. Alright, here's number 3. No multiple choice. Are you smart enough to get it? We'll see. Which comedian famously riffed about the 7 words you can never say on television back in 1972? That's your number 3 question. No multiple choice. Which comedian famously riffed about the 7 words you can never say on television back in 1972? Question number 4 of round 2. What is Donald Duck's middle name? Donald Duck's middle name. Is it A, Charity? Is it B, Faith? Is it C, Fortune? Or is it D, Patience? Donald Duck's middle name. Question number 4. Is it A, Charity? Is it B, Faith? Is it C, Fortune? Or is it D, Patience? And finally, this round number 2, your festive 5 is as follows. Which animal carried Mary before she gave birth to Jesus? Which animal carried Mary before she gave birth to Jesus? Think about it. That one's worth 5 points. That's your festive 5. Let me know how you get on. We'll have your answers coming up in the next hour. Stay close. It's the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge right here with me, Spike Nesmith, the Doctor of Rock, only on 93.5 The FBY. Round 3 of the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge. Remember, it's 1 point per correct answer, 5 points for the Festive 5 if you get it right. If you get it right. Here are your round 3 questions. Are you ready? Glad you are, because I'm not, because my questions have just decided to fall on the floor. Excuse me a moment. And now I have them. Round 3, Festive Trivia Challenge, 93.5 The FBY. Question number 1. Before becoming Baby Ruth in 1921, what was the candy bar's original name? Before becoming Baby Ruth in 1921, what was the candy bar's original name? Was it A, Nuts Nougat? Was it the Choco Bar? Was it C, the Caramel Surprise? Or was it D, Candy Cake? Let me give you those again. Before becoming Baby Ruth in 1921, what was the candy bar's original name? Was it A, Nuts Nougat? Was it B, the Choco Bar? Was it C, Caramel Surprise? Or was it D, Candy Cake? Here's question number 2. Which musician was the first to have a number 1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 with a song that featured just piano and vocals? Ooh, is it A, Billy Joel? Is it B, Elton John? Is it C, Mariah Carey? Or is it D, Adele? Which musician was the first to have a number 1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 with a song that featured just piano and vocals? Was it A, Billy Joel? Was it B, Elton John? Was it C, Mariah Carey? Or was it D, Adele? Now, question number 3. No multiple choice on this one. See if you're clever enough to get it using just the power of your enormous noggin. The Brat Pack movies, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and 16 Candles were all set in which major US city? No multiple choice on this one. Brat Pack movies, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and 16 Candles were all set in which US city? Think about it. Write it down. Worth a point. Here's number 4. We all know that fingerprints are one part of the body that leave a specific and identifying print, but what other body part has a unique print? We all know fingerprints are one part of the body that leave a specific and identifying print, but what other body part has a unique print? Is it A, the nose? Is it B, the tongue? Is it C, the ear? Or D, the elbow? A, nose, B, tongue, C, ear, D, elbow. Which other part of the body leaves a specific and identifying print? And your festive 5 for this one, for your round 3, worth 5 points. What ocean can Christmas Island be found in? That's a tricky one. Your festive 5 for this round, round number 3. Which ocean can Christmas Island be found in? Think about it, write it down, worth 5 points. How about that then? Round 3 is over. Everything to play for in round 4. Our final round of trivia on the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge. It's on the way. Stay close. It's 93.5 The FBY. questions here on the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge. It is make or break time. Round number 4, the final round of questions. This could be the one that tips you over the edge. Some of us already been over the edge, and that's why we're so heavily medicated. Round number 4, question 1. What 1970s film was the first to feature a computer-generated title sequence? What 1970s film was the first to feature a computer-generated title sequence? Was it A, Jaws 2? Was it B, Revenge of the Pink Panther? Was it C, Grease? Or was it D, Superman? What 1970s film was the first to feature a computer-generated title sequence? Was it Jaws 2? Was it Revenge of the Pink Panther? Was it Grease? Or was it Superman? Write your answer down. Worth a point. Question number 2. What was the end result of the Manhattan Project? Was it A, an atomic bomb? Was it B, the Brooklyn Bridge? Was it C, a hovercraft? Or was it D, the flux capacitor? What was the end result of the Manhattan Project? Question number 2 of round 4. Was it A, an atomic bomb? Was it B, the Brooklyn Bridge? Was it C, a hovercraft? Or was it D, the flux capacitor? Question number 3, no multiple choice. This is a toughie. Which CD was the first one manufactured in the United States? That's your question, no multiple choice. Which CD was the first one manufactured in the United States? Question number 4 of round 4. Lego bricks were introduced in what decade? Was it A, the 30s? Was it B, the 40s? Was it C, the 50s? Or was it D, the 60s? With Lego bricks were introduced in which decade? Was it A, the 30s? Was it B, the 40s? Was it C, the 50s? Or was it D, the 60s? Write your answer down. And finally, last question, it's your festive 5. This is worth 5 points. In which country did eggnog originate? In which country did eggnog originate? You should be able to narrow that one down fairly quickly, I would think. I mean, there's only, thousands of countries in the world? Yeah, give it a chance. You'll get there in the end, surely. In which country did eggnog originate? That is your festive 5 for round 4 of the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge. We are officially done. Stick with us in the next hour. I've got all the answers, and it's up to you to figure out your final score. It's the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge on 93.5. The FBY, isn't it? I can't hear you. 93.5. You got that right.
Oh yeah!
Welcome back to the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge here on 93.5 The FBY. We're having a fantastic time, and we are at the point of the evening where we're going to give you the answers to the quiz. Now remember, it's 1 point per correct answer, apart from the festive 5. If you get the festive 5 right, that's 5 points for a bit of festive knowledge. Who's going to win? Is it going to be Santa and his trivia elves? Is it going to be Frosty and his know-it-all snowballs? Or will it be my clones, the Spikes? Quite frankly, yes! No! Or will it be you, dearest listener? I trust you've been playing along at home. Well, now is your chance to find out if you're smarter than the party. Round 1, here we go. I asked you the question, which of the following one-name musicians got his stage name from a billboard advertising a hearing aid retailer? And the correct answer was C, Bono. His real name is Paul David Hewson. He was inspired by a Dublin hearing aid shop called Bono Vox, which is Latin for good voice. How about that? Number 2, which species contains the most poisonous animal in the world? Which species contains the most poisonous animal in the world? It was B, the frog. Dart poison frogs are the most poisonous animals in the world. The golden poison frog is so toxic. How toxic is it? It's dangerous to even touch it. Yowza. Number 3 of round 1, your chance to show off. Answer the question without multiple choice. Which author created the Land of Oz? The answer, of course, L. Frank Baum. He wrote the original Wizard of Oz book and therefore created the Land of Oz. Number 4. Which US president was the first to choose to fly in a private US Air Force plane instead of flying commercial? The correct answer was C. Roosevelt. The practice of using a private US Air Force plane was instituted in 1943 after concerns arose over the president's security. Plus, he wanted more peanuts. And your festive 5 for round 1. If you're born on Christmas Day, what's your star sign? That, of course, would be Capricorn. Capricorn is your star sign if you were born on Christmas Day. That's round 1. We're going to be back in a few minutes with round 2 of the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge, and we will give you the answers. And remember, you're responsible for totaling your own scores honestly, so do it as honestly as you can. We'll be back in a little bit right here on 93.5. What? The FBY! Oh yeah! We're back, it's 93.5, the FBY. Time for round 2. Remember, there's 4 rounds. You're responsible for totaling your own scores honestly. So here are the answers for round 2. Round 2, number 1. Ozzy Osbourne became famous in which heavy metal band? Really, if you didn't get this, you need to listen to the FBY a whole heck of a lot more. It was B, Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath it was, of course. Number 2, which Oscar-nominated action star is also a seasoned helicopter pilot and real-life hero? Correct answer was B, Harrison Ford. He has twice rescued stranded hikers in his Bell 407 helicopter, and in July of 2000 he airlifted a hiker off Table Mountain in Idaho, and a year later rescued a 13-year-old Boy Scout who had gotten lost in Yellowstone Park. How about that? Number 3, no multiple choice. Were you smart enough to get it? Which comedian famously riffed about the 7 words you could never say on television back in 1972? That answer, of course, George Carlin. Of course, we still can't say any of those words on the radio. Number 4, what's Donald Duck's middle name? Donald Duck's middle name is D, Patience. And I don't know about you, I have very little patience for Donald Duck. Your festive 5 on round 2. Which animal carried Mary before she gave birth to Jesus? The answer, of course, is the donkey. That's your festive 5. If you got it right, 5 points to you. Make sure you're keeping your scores honestly, ladies and gentlemen. We'll send someone round to check in a minute. We'll come round to your house, pound on your door and say, "Are you cheating? Are you cheating?" It's 93.5, the FBY. The FBY, Spike Nesmith here, Doctor of Rock, and your Master of Ceremonies for the FBY Festive Trivia Challenge. Who will win? Who will be named King Quiz? Let's kick off with the answers to round 3. We're going to do round 3 and round 4 in this break. So, alright, round 3. Before becoming Baby Ruth in 1921, what was the candy bar's original name? It was D, Candy Cake. The new name, Baby Ruth, wasn't anything to do with Babe Ruth. It was actually named after President Grover Cleveland's daughter. There you go. Now you know. Which musician was the first to have a number 1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 with a song that featured just piano and vocals? Well, you said Billy Joel, you would be wrong. I said Billy Joel, and I was wrong. It was actually Adele with her 2011 song, Someone Like You. I was hoping it would be Billy Joel, but you know what? There's an awful lot of harmonica and Piano Man for that one to count, I suppose. No multiple choice for number 3. See if you're clever enough to get it just using the power of your enormous noggin. Brat Pack Movies, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and 16 Candles were all set in what major US city? Brat Pack Movies, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and 16 Candles were all set in which US major city? It was Chicago. That's worth a point. If you got it right, you are pretty smart. Number 4, we all know that fingerprints are one part of the body that leave a specific and identifying print, but what other body part has a unique print? It was B, the tongue. Wow, I always thought it was the ear, but no, it's the tongue. Yet another reason not to lick doorknobs. Spike number 3, I'm looking at you.
That's what I'm talking about.
And your festive 5 for round 4, what ocean can Christmas Island be found in? That would be the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is where you'll find Christmas Island. Now we're going to do round 4 at the same time as we do round 3 to get it out the way, because we have something a little bit special coming up in our final break tonight that you're going to want to stick around for. The question for number 1 was, what 1970s film was the first to feature a computer-generated title sequence? And it was D, Superman, released in 1978. Number 2, what was the end result of the Manhattan Project? If you wrote down A, an atomic bomb, you would be absolutely correct, my friend. That was the end result of the Manhattan Project, an atomic bomb. If you wrote nuclear bomb, okay, I'll give it to you. That's fair enough. Number 3, no multiple choice. Which CD was the first manufactured in the United States? Well, rather appropriately, it was Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. That was the first compact disc to be made in the USA in September of 1984. Question number 4 on round 4. The Lego bricks were introduced in what decade? That would be the 1950s. The word Lego is a portmanteau of the Danish words leg and got, G-O-T-D, which literally means play well. It should have been called Nduga Fodder, which literally means avoid feet. Number 5, your festive 5 for round 4. Final question here at the FBY Holiday Party Festive Trivia Challenge. Which country did eggnog originate? It was, rather surprisingly, the United Kingdom, the UK. That's where eggnog originated, and you know what? You can have it because it is absolutely bloody disgusting. So there we go, that's your FBY Festive Trivia Challenge for the year. Hopefully you did well. Stay with us here on 93.5 The FBY. Something special is coming up next time we talk. Ooh.